because pineapple does not belong on pizza.
There's something in the Canadian genes that has been passed down to Dwayne "The Rock"
I was born
Johnson.
in Canada, and I can't consume it.
No sense at all.
Stop
The force
applying your
doesn't work.
Vulcan-esque logic to what is supposed to spark our imagination.
We're going to get into this.
Yeah.
Let's go for the meat, okay? The force. It sucks.
It's a dopamine hit. It lasts. It's a drug. And I'm sorry, no one's going to tell me that cocaine gives you happiness.
I understand that you've got the tough slog of defending cats, but
It's not a tough slog. It's an
no,
honor.
it's
John Wayne Gacy, Stalin, Putin, all of them huge dog lovers. None of them weren't a fan of cats.
I live in Toronto. We are obligated by law to spend 91% of our waking hours in traffic.
So I think that we should abolish homework altogether, make it illegal. I'll go as far as to say.
Illegal. All right, everybody, from Channel 9 Court in Scarborough, this is Toronto's breaking news. CP24, hello, I'm Nick Dixon. Welcome to CP24, the final episode of The Great Debate. Of course, it's being aired right here on CP24 and across all of our digital streaming sites. So thanks for watching wherever you're watching from. Okay, this has really been an epic tournament with plenty of exciting moments, and it all comes down to this final showdown. But before we get to that final debate, let's just take a look at how we got here. So the tournament started out with 8. Our competitors battled it out until we were left with just 2. Here is a look at this matchup. Scott Reid taking out Teddy Wilson in our first round, first match. And then in round 2, Adwoa goes down to Richard Crouse as they debated the merits of pineapple on pizza. The next debate was a hotly contested one in terms of whether money can or cannot buy you happiness. Shannon Burns coming out on top over Josie Dye. And in our final first round debate, Matt Cauz and Amanda Galbraith went head-to-head on cats or dogs. Which one makes the best pet? Amanda had dogs and came through to the finals. Then we had the semifinal round where Scott Reid and Richard Crouse had a quite fiercely contested debate over the books, real leather-bound books or audiobooks or virtual books. Scott takes that with the audiobook side. And then in the other semifinal, Shannon Burns and Amanda Galbraith debated homework. Should it be abolished? Amanda says no. So if you still have homework as of the next show, you can blame Amanda for that. Of course, this is the final round now. Scott Reid and Amanda Galbraith. Boy, you have been on television so many times before debating political issues, but right now we're going to be debating other issues. Now, there were plenty of highlights of each debate. I want to give you a sampling, though, of just a few of the exciting moments here.
When Star Wars misses, it misses. And the sad truth is this, buddy, you're over. It's been missing for a decade. They haven't been able to make a movie. They even trashed Han Solo by giving him his own movie, which stank like right jelly and cheese, my friend.
Scott, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised and disappointed that somebody of your august stature and resume would go for the low-hanging fruit of Jar Jar Binks. I admit he's incredibly annoying, incredibly problematic as well, but find me a little kid who doesn't have their imagination sparked by Jar Jar Binks.
You talked earlier passionately about all the Italian nonas out there that are weeping at the very thought of putting pineapple on a pizza.
Nepalese nonas and nonos.
Well, let's go then to the Pizza Street in Napoli. It is one of the most famous areas that you can buy pizza. They now offer pineapple on pizza. They do it a little differently. They wrap the pineapple in prosciutto and put it on the pizza, and it's a huge seller. And the pizza masters, the pizza aiellos of that street are all up, thumbs up.
It is true. With getting a lot of money can also come a lot of generosity. And the thing about spending money on yourself, it can only go so far, but spending money on other people has been proven to help people out.
Hear what you're saying. Giving money away makes you happier. Do you hear what you're saying?
No,
giving money away makes you happier. I agree with you, Shannon, 100%.
Having the money
100%.
to spend on other people.
100%.
But that makes them richer with money.
Yeah, and then they're
going
to, because money doesn't change your mood.
There was also another study, 4,700 adults over the age of 40, and cat owners had better cardiovascular skills, better cardiovascular health.
Because they're running for fear of their lives. The cats keep attacking them with objects in the house.
And they're calm.
I happen to be listening to a book these days. Great book about Elvis Costello. Can you see the author of this book? Richard Crouse.
Yep.
This is coming to me through my phone.
And it's not the only one. It's
my
not the only
God,
one.
you brill, creamed hypocrite. I paid $9.18. I put money in your pocket, and you have the nerve to say that audiobooks are a move back for civilization?
Well,
the other thing we need kids to learn is kids need to learn how to lie. And if they don't have homework to lie about not handing in, the dog ate my homework. I don't know how many friends in university had grandmothers die all of a sudden when exam time was around. So we need to teach kids how to do white lies, how to get through life, and homework is putting that pressure on them to teach them that essential skill. And we cannot deprive them of that today.
Did you see the white lie debate coming or argument?
No, I'm shocked. You had a lot of homework growing up, I guess.
Okay, so for one last time in this series, let's give the rules for our competitors. We've chosen a random topic for our guests to debate. In segment 1, each guest argues their side of the topic, and then in segment 2, each guest rebuts the other's opinions and arguments. When both rounds are finished, our in-studio panel will make the decision on who won, and then we will find out who our champion again is. Once again, our in-studio panel carefully watching all the action. Right now, they're debating the merits of money over happiness. The vote, though, they will vote each round and decide who is the greatest debater at the end of this show. All right, so let's introduce our final 2 debaters. Starting with Amanda Galbraith over here, of course, the co-founder and partner of Oyster Group, crisis communications specialist. She's a News Talk 1010 contributor and host of Free for All Friday from 12 to 2, heard Fridays across the iHeartRadio network. Scott Reid was a senior advisor and director of communications to Prime Minister Paul Martin. He is now a principal at Fest Chuck Reid. He serves as a CTV political analyst, and we bring him on frequently. So, Scott, I want to ask you, you're here in the finals.
Yeah.
Quite an achievement. I'm sure, you know, when you look back on your life, this is going to be one of those moments.
Right at the mountaintop.
But you've also prepared politicians for high-stakes debates. Now you're the one debating. What's it like being on the sort of other side, as it were?
When you only have to prepare someone, there's a lot more time for drinking, so I miss that. And secondly, I now have a real jerk for a boss. You know, I find myself very difficult to work with. I don't like to listen, and I don't seem to have much command of language. So it's a really disappointing process.
Well, you've made it this far.
Well,
You're in
I
the
know,
finals
but
of
now
the
I got to
debate,
square
Scott.
off against She-Hulk.
Amanda Galbraith, a heavyweight debater.
Such a flattering description. I'm so excited.
But I think he's referring to your crisis communications, ability here, and that's the thing. You're a crisis communicator, so you're used to kind of getting into the, maybe getting your elbows up a little bit. What have you said to yourself in these debates that you think has gotten you this far, Amanda?
I've just said to myself, I really want to beat Scott at the end, and that's just his face is on my
see
mirror
it coming,
every
eh?
day. I've been talking to it every morning. I'm going to get
My
you.
face has been on your mirror for years. Tell the
With
truth.
the heart around it. With
Yes,
the heart around it,
exactly.
obviously. I do a bit of my homework, which is why I believe in homework, but also have fun. I think is important to make people laugh, which is what we're doing.
Okay, well, hopefully we're all listed from the semifinal rounds. Here we are getting ready for the finals, which is coming up right after this. You're watching CP24's The Great Debate. Round 1 action in the final coming right up. Okay, really hope you can feel the palpable excitement here. I'm Nick Dixon. Welcome to CP24's final of The Great Debate. It is being aired on CP24 and across our digital streaming sites. We're about to begin the final round 1. The topic was chosen ahead of time, and the competitors have drawn for positions. So here's the thing. What if our lifespan could be extended beyond its natural limits? More recently, scientists have made a significant leap towards this very real possibility with the discovery of a study on an important longevity gene. So our debate topic is living forever would be terrible. Okay, interesting. So Scott is going to argue that living forever is great. No, sorry, you're arguing that it's going to be terrible. And on the other hand, Amanda, is going to argue that living together is great. Sorry, I got so wound up in the idea of living forever that I got confused. You're going to have 2 minutes each to make your initial cases. So Scott, yes, living forever would be terrible.
It would most definitely.
It for 2 minutes.
It would most definitely be terrible. I mean, first of all, let's start with the obvious, right? You are going to outlive all of your loved ones, all of your friends, all of your family. You're going to watch them perish. Imagine, Nick, I have to stand to the end of your deathbed, tell you that your life has meant something. I don't want to lie to you in that moment, and yet it's going to happen to me over and over and over again. And then, of course, we have to think about what it is that we're living into. Climate change, AI. This is going to be a dark dystopian future. I'm sure you know that Donald Trump will find a way to transplant his consciousness into some sort of killer robot. I wouldn't be surprised if by law there's no music other than K-pop in the future. This is going to be a living, breathing, miserable hell. And by the way, there's a big, big asterisk. They've never said to us, what age am I going to be? Like if I'm 130, am I just sort of stuck at 85 forever? I'm just wandering around. I look like Joe Biden. I'm wondering where I am. I'm eating paste. I don't want any of it. Give me a natural lifetime. Allow me to live with my friends and my loved ones, and let me pass in peace.
Okay, there's Scott Reid on the downside, I suppose, of living forever, and we'll see where Amanda goes with this. But Amanda, you're going to be debating, I suppose, living forever would not be terrible.
You bet.
So let's hear it. Let's state this for 2 minutes here.
Living forever would be fantastic. And why is that? Because you would reinvent yourself. You would have an opportunity. Do you want to be an astronaut? Do you want to be a cat herder? Who knows? You have unlimited decades to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. You don't ever have to settle. How smart would you get? You would constantly be learning from brilliant. You could go to university endlessly to learn things. Do I want to be
all the homework you wanted?
Yeah, exactly. All the homework we could get, man. It's a perfect time. The trivia that you'd know, you would learn and win every single trivia game you ever competed. You'd never have to pay for a drink at the bar ever again. And what about historical events? You know, you're sitting around, someone's like, that Mona Lisa's great. You're like, yeah, I had coffee with that guy a couple decades ago. It was pretty awesome. I mean, like, this is an unlimited, wonderful bounty. And let's talk about relationships. You know, we've all looked at our loved ones, our partners, and said, like, did I really make the right call? Well, guess what? If you live forever, you have an opportunity to redo that over and over and over again. So you don't have to settle. You don't have to stay with one person. So I say living forever is fantastic. Let us bring bell bottoms around multiple times. I will keep that clothing. Let's live forever and have the ultimate adventure.
Okay, all right. So that's Amanda stating her case. Interesting here. Both of you are assuming that it's only you that gets to live forever and no one else. I find that interesting about that argument that you're making. That it's just you. No one else.
If it was everyone, it would be even more awful. It would be even more ghoulish.
Okay, so anyway, this we're going to take a quick break here. This is now in the panel's hands. The panel is going to be taking a look and figuring out who won that round as they gaze at your beautiful faces on their ping pong paddles here, wondering. Nick is sort of rubbing that one paddle curiously. All right, so coming on, round two, final rebuttals here in CP24's The Great Debate. Stick around for more right after this. Sound of the bell once again here on The Great Debate. Welcome. I'm Nick Dixon. Thanks for joining us on our final of CP24's The Great Debate. It's airing, of course, here on CP24 and right across our digital streaming sites. So in the round two here, each guest is going to rebut the other's arguments. And again, when both these rounds are finished, our in-studio panel, paying very close attention, will render a decision on who won and who becomes the champion of the CP24 Great Debate. Lots at stake here. So let's begin round two. This is a 5-minute rebuttal round. It's kind of a bit of a free-for-all. Remember, the topic here is living forever would be terrible. So you both have 5 minutes. Amanda, you will get to continue pick up the rebuttal here from wherever you want to leave off, or just go anywhere, but take on Scott. Here we go, 5 minutes.
I'm always happy to take on Scott.
Bring it on, girl.
All right, so living forever continues to be amazing. And let's talk about historical events. We are at the advent of a huge change in society. Yes, Scott says it's going to be a dystopian future filled with darkness.
Certainly is.
Terribleness, and I say nay.
It's a dystopian present.
I say nay.
It can only get worse.
I say nay, it will be amazing, and this is why. We are going to have, AI is going to free us to do all kinds of things and tasks. I no longer have to write lengthy communications plans for my clients. I can use other tools to do that and spend time with my children. I can frolic around. I can see them grow old and then their children grow old. Also, I want to see a flying car. It was promised to us in Back to the Future years ago.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to come here soon, and I want to be alive for that. And then what about great historical figures that should not die? Steven Tyler is 76. That man should live forever. And man, he's pumping everything in his body to enjoy everything he can, and I think he will.
He's going to run out of scarves.
No.
Come on.
So I think living forever would be amazing. In my next life, I'm going to be an astronaut. Scott, what are you going to be?
Well, I'll tell you what am I going to be? I'm going to be a witch doctor because I'm going to set a spell on you now by hearkening back to your opening round, because as I listen very carefully to your thoughtful arguments, as far as I can tell, your #1 reason for wanting to live forever is so you can cheat on your spouse. I have great news for you. You can do that now. You don't need the wonder pill or eternal life. You can go out there. You can swipe however you want, sister. A couple of other things, and let's get to the nub of what we think is going to happen in the world. It's sweet that you have this lollipops and rainbows sort of notion of the future, but let's be honest, all right? In the future, Elon Musk will own the moon and Mars. We're putting so much toxic crap into the atmosphere. We're not even going to have reproductive organs in 50 years. What will I do with myself all day? I mean, imagine the true future. Have you seen The Matrix? Skynet. We are euchred. And so I don't want to be around for all of that. I'm not going to meet historical figures. I'm not going to be playing ping pong with Betty White at the end of time. It's over, okay? Give me a natural life. Let me off this blue ball, which is desperately and quickly turning black. And you know it, and I know it. Donald Trump is going to serve 60 consecutive terms as president of the United States. He will burn the earth over and over and over again.
I'm just worried for you, Scott, that again, it's like my last round. You want to give up. You want to give up on life and throw in the towel. And that's
I want to embrace death. I don't want to give up.
I want to embrace life. I want to pump my face so full of fillers that I can live forever and look like I'm 40 when I'm 200. I think that the
So that you can go to university and shag your next door neighbor. That's what you said.
I want to see historical events. I want to have multiple friendships. I want to live a great life and see great change. And I think that living forever would be the ultimate experience of that. Also, just think about it. You would be the oldest human on Earth. When there's cyborgs and whatever, you'd be around that digital fireplace telling stories, like sort of the, like the professor at Harry Potter at the end. I think it would be fantastic.
It's terrifying, your notion of the future. Harry Potter, plants that eat you.
Harry Potter's the best.
Look, life is an arc. There's a natural arc, and it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I think there's a lovely completeness to this. Imagine the drudgery. Oh, how old are you? 900 years old. How are you now? 1,100 years old. I mean, we'll lose touch with humanity. There will be no loved ones. We'll be so engrossed in ourselves years and years. And don't think that our memories will reside within us for all that time. We'll forget everyone. I won't even remember you 900 years from now.
Nay.
You'll be gone from my heart.
My photo will be on your wall forever, Scott, on that
There'll be
with
no
a big
photos.
heart around it.
We're going to be huddled around an oil drum for heat and chewing on our neighbors, because that'll be the only organic material left on the planet.
I think you are describing an arc, and my life is a rocket ship, and I think it's only going up from here. And anyone who wants to embrace life with both hands, who doesn't want to give it up, should say we should live forever as a society. I want Stephen Tyler around for the next 50 years. I wish Queen Elizabeth had lived forever. I think we should embrace that.
She did live forever. She was 99 years old.
I think she was 97. But yeah, she did live forever, but she should have lived longer.
But that's my point. Look at, and then you wander around at the end, and you're like, oh my God, where did I put my applesauce? I want to live. I want to be vital. And then when it's done, drop the curtain. My show is over. The play is writ.
I don't want to give up, Scott. I know you want to give up, but I don't want to give up on this, and I don't want to give up on winning this debate.
Let me interject one thing here. None of you have talked about the idea of how much it would cost to live forever. The financial toll. Do you want to work forever, Amanda? I mean, Scott, kind of giving up, as you said, he just wants to do the natural arc. If you live forever, how do you afford to live forever?
Well, I'm going to have multiple careers. I can, guess what? I can be a journalist.
Not to mention husbands.
And exactly. It's going to be fantastic. Maybe I'll have wives. Who knows? It'll be like a whole different world out there. No, I'm going to be an astronaut. Then I'm going to be a doctor. Then I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to be a writer. I can have multiple careers, make multiple kinds of money. If Elon Musk is around, maybe I'll become friends with Elon Musk. That man's been multiple successful businesses.
Well, that's the worst idea I've heard all damn day. I don't want to be on Elon Musk's fund. But the international monetary system, international financial system will have obviously collapsed. It's probably about 6 months from that as it is. And so there will be no money. Instead, it will be a brutal, nasty, short life where we are all like struggling and smacking. And it will be, Amanda, I hate to break this to you, but if you live forever, right, you're going to be enslaved by some AI-generated muscle bot that's just going to take from us all.
This is something like sci-fi fantasy now.
And a muscle bot.
A muscle bot. Sorry, excuse me. I have to wipe my forehead. I'm getting worked up. It's not going to be. It's not. I don't know, like if you've noticed, right? But It's getting worse, not better, sister.
I actually think there's an opportunity to make things better. I think space travel is exciting. I mean, you defended this Star Trek versus Star Wars. Like, I think there's huge opportunity with learning about other lives. Not to be like serious and less dorky, but I actually do think we're on the precipice of something new and exciting as a society, and I would love to be hanging around to see it. I think it would be amazing.
Okay.
If you die, you meet
15
God.
seconds.
How good is that?
I've met him. He's right here.
Oh, Lord.
Whoa, look at that. Okay, that was absolutely spectacular. Really, like, amazing debate there. Both of you, Amanda, Scott, really appreciate that. You know, the judges definitely are going to have their work cut out for them. Let's take a look now live at them as they're pondering the winner here. Farah is really deep in thought. Nick, sort of humming and hawing. Yeah, we've got some real questions here. Really busy tallying up the points, clearly mentally, as there's no physical way of doing this. Who wins? We're going to find out after the break. This is CP24's The Great Debate. The winner is going to reveal. Is it Amanda? Is it Scott? Find out. Coming up. Yeah. Okay, it all comes down to this. Welcome back. I'm Nick Dixon. This is the final segment of CP24's The Great Debate, which of course is airing on CP24 and across all of our digital streaming sites. And this really is the moment we've been waiting for. It has taken 4 episodes to get here. The panel has made its decision. Panel, let's check out those paddles. Who's the winner? Is it Amanda? Is it Scott? And I see one for Amanda. I see one for Scott. Oh, I see 2 for Scott. Scott Reid is the winner of The Great Debate.
There
Scott,
we go. Thank you very much. Well, count one.
Well debated.
Early deaths for us all.
Perfect. All I've ever wanted.
How does it feel, Scott, to be the initial winner of The Great Debate here on CP24?
Well, obviously, the first thought that flashes through my mind is congratulations to Amanda for losing to me. Secondly, I'm trying to imagine what I'm going to do with my winnings. It's wonderful to be rich, which I am now. It's
you can afford to live forever.
Yeah, and you know, this was a lot of fun. This was an awful lot of fun.
This was a whole lot of fun here.
I felt I won dirty, though. With Richard Crouse, I think I won dirty. I think it was a little bit of a stunt to pull out his book on him. I think so. I have slight regrets.
It was an interesting tactic that you did that you sort of like, hang on a second, you're arguing against audiobooks, and you bring out his audiobook and show it to the...
I went kind of Matlock on his ass.
You did, but he also he wrote a book about Celine Dion, which I didn't know, which is also kind of amazing. It's a fun fact about Richard.
Amanda, your thoughts here. You know, I hate to say that you come in second to Scott Reid here.
Heartbroken.
How do you feel?
How for the first time?
I'm gonna crawl out of the studio on my hands and knees and cry myself to sleep tonight. No, I feel it was a good competition, a lively debate with my friend Scott, and I welcome the opportunity, and I still would love to live forever.
Yeah.
So Scott, with all your winnings, let's pay for my regenerative surgery, and we can swing off into the sunset.
I'm all for investing in that.
This will not be the last
forever,
time.
it's you.
This is not the last time you will debate each other on television anywhere across the CTV, CP24 network. You can see a lot of that, especially as we're getting into certainly an election season here in the country. Okay, so that does it for this edition of CP24's The Great Debate. It's been a pretty fascinating round as we whittle our way down to the final 2 here, but Scott Reid has come out on top. The man who doesn't want to live forever has won the initial Great Debate here on CP24. Once again, Scott, congratulations.
Thank you,
well played, well debated. Amanda, really a lot of pleasure, as always, talking to you.
Right.
Thank you all for watching CP24's Great Debate. Thanks to our panelists, thanks to our crew, and thanks to all of you for watching here on CP24 and across our digital channels. Have a good one. Take care.